Today, let's talk about the most scientific way to approach a fat loss diet, one that is easy to stick to and produces significant results. First of all, every fat loss diet, no matter what it's called, has one ultimate goal: creating a calorie deficit, which is the key to everything. A study published in 2005 had participants eat twice their usual amount of protein while keeping everything else the same. After increasing their protein intake, the participants' daily caloric intake unconsciously dropped by 440 calories. A few weeks later, they lost nearly 10 pounds of fat. Why? Part of the reason is that protein has a strong satiety effect. For the same amount of calories, you'll feel full longer with chicken breast compared to cereal. But the more significant role of protein is that when you're in a calorie deficit, your body can choose to burn fat or muscle for energy. By consuming enough protein, typically 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, you send a powerful signal to your body to preserve muscle and burn fat for energy. Next, let's talk about carbohydrates. Nowadays, many people are wary of carbs, with various claims about cutting out sugar. Not eating any form of carbohydrate can severely impact your energy levels and overall state, leaving you without enough strength to train. In the first week of cutting carbs, you may see a drop in weight, but this is mainly because carbohydrates draw water into your muscles, so almost all of the initial weight loss is due to water loss. Carbs are your main source of energy, especially during high-intensity exercise. So, as long as you have a calorie deficit and eat enough protein, you will lose fat regardless of whether you consume a lot of carbs or hardly any at all. If you're currently eating too much, you may need to reduce your carbohydrate intake or choose natural carbs that make you feel fuller and lead to fewer calories consumed. Pre-workout meals can help maintain your training intensity, and the carbs consumed during this meal will be used up quickly. Post-workout meals are even more crucial. When your body is depleted, the energy you consume will be significantly used to repair muscles and restore the body. Lastly, let's discuss fats. Both carbohydrates and proteins contain only 4 calories per gram, while fats contain 9 calories per gram. In the first video, we mentioned that carbohydrates are regulated by insulin, which lowers blood sugar by synthesizing fat. Therefore, we need to maintain low insulin levels within a healthy range for a prolonged period. This is where fat plays its most significant role in the diet. Like carbs, fat serves as a primary energy source, but mainly for low-intensity activities, which also highlights the importance of aerobic exercise. So, a scientifically sound diet plan should be perfectly aligned with your training, under the overarching principle of a calorie deficit. Combining a fixed high-protein intake with your training intensity to distribute carbs and fats will surely yield optimal results. Here are the 3 most common mistakes. Let's see if you're making any of them. Stick around till the end to ensure you're on the right track. Buckle up, we're about to get started. Mistake 1. Focusing too much on the details. You're already tired, so don't waste your willpower on unnecessary nitpicking. One of the first things people obsess over is the glycemic index, GI. Many believe that slow GI foods help with fat loss, but in reality, whether it's fast or slow, the total amount of calories is what matters. If you have a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. If not, you won't. As long as your body is healthy, you really don't need to worry about your glycemic index. Another common obsession is meal timing and frequency. Some people think eating 6 meals a day boosts metabolism, while others skip meals after noon. All of this is nonsense. A 2019 study showed that the final result only depends on your total daily intake. So how many meals you eat a day should be based on personal preference. This is the only way you'll be able to stick to it long term. Mistake 2. Thinking in extremes. Many people fall into the trap of binary thinking, where they believe that either fat or carbs are the enemy. However, in reality, you need to look at your diet as a whole. The reason you gain weight isn't because you ate carbs or fat, it's simply because you ate too much. You should aim to build a balanced diet where every nutrient plays its role and complements each other, rather than arbitrarily cutting one out. I recommend a method where you mix and match different meals based on your taste preferences, all with the same caloric value. Then, adjust the ratio of carbs, fats, and proteins according to your training needs while maintaining a calorie deficit. This way, your meals will still be enjoyable and not repetitive. Try to stick to natural or minimally processed foods and avoid heavily processed ones. Mistake 3. Getting overly ambitious sometimes. People get a sudden burst of motivation, like during New Year's or on their birthday, and decide, I'm going to change myself immediately. I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 1 month. Then they cut their food intake by half or even more. While I admire determination, the truth is that a sustainable approach is usually more effective in the long run and will ultimately help you lose more fat. If you go on a very low-calorie diet, you may lose more weight, especially in the short term, but you'll risk losing a lot of lean body mass and increasing the chances of rebounding. Once you reach your goal weight using this method, your metabolism will be shot. As soon as you start eating normally again, you'll likely regain the weight quickly, and your body composition will be worse. That's why I recommend a gradual approach, which is usually more effective. It's best to keep your calorie deficit below 25% of your basal metabolic rate (BMR) and aim to lose about 1% of your body weight per week. This will maximize fat loss while minimizing muscle loss. If you weigh 200 pounds, that means losing about 2 pounds per week. The rate at which you lose fat depends on your initial fat levels, so adjust accordingly. The more fat you have, the faster your safe weight loss speed will be without risking muscle loss. Make sure to follow for more tips. Metabolism is the most important factor in fat loss, even more important than controlling your diet. Fortunately, you've come across this video where I'll tell you 5 simple steps to boost your metabolic rate. First, you need to understand what metabolism is. Metabolism is the total amount of calories your body burns in a day. Your total energy expenditure is divided into 3 main parts. The first part is your basal metabolic rate (BMR, the second part is activity expenditure, and the third part is the thermic effect of food (TEF). Your basal metabolic rate is essentially the amount of calories your body burns to perform all its basic functions like metabolism, breathing, blood circulation, etc. If you were to sit on the couch all day and do nothing but breathe, that's the energy your BMR burns, usually accounting for 50% to 70% of your total expenditure. The second part is activity expenditure, which typically makes up 20% to 30% of your total expenditure. Systematic training is a key component of your activity expenditure, including strength training and cardio. The secondary part includes your daily activities like typing, household chores, walking, singing, etc. The third part is the thermic effect of food, which is the energy your body uses to digest food. According to experimental data published in a scientific journal, metabolic rates vary greatly even among people of the same weight. The blue dots represent men and the yellow dots represent women. For example, at 80 kilograms, the lowest metabolic rate is only 1,400 calories per day, while the highest is 5,700 calories. If your metabolism is very low, then your struggle with weight is quite unfair. Cutting below 1,400 calories is required for fat loss. On the other hand, if your metabolism is high, 4 times that of the person next to you, you can still lose fat. So, in my comment section, there are people who post a picture of their muscles with a caption saying they can eat anything they want, and yes, they really can. Today's video might be the longest one on our channel because this topic is so crucial. Give it a thumbs up and follow us. We're about to start with step 1. Step 1. Strength training. At least 3 times a week. The more you train and the more muscle you build, the more calories your body will burn. Muscle burns 3 times as many calories as fat. So as your fat decreases and muscle increases, your total expenditure will rise exponentially even if you're doing nothing. So, at least in terms of metabolism, having more muscle truly gives you more freedom. Step 2. High protein diet. A high protein diet promotes muscle growth and increases the thermic effect of food, raising your total energy expenditure by 10% to 15%. Step 3. Drink more water. Studies show that drinking half a liter of water can boost your metabolic rate by 10% to 30% for an hour. Drinking water during exercise helps enhance muscle sensitivity and recovery, indirectly increasing your activity level. Drinking cold water is even better, as your body uses energy to heat it to body temperature. Step 4. Quality fats. Healthy fats promote ketone production, which speeds up your metabolism. Step 5. Sleep. Lack of sleep can cause hormonal imbalances, leading to muscle loss and reducing your body's ability to burn fat. A study conducted at the University of Chicago found that when 10 healthy men reduced their sleep, their testosterone levels dropped by 14%, leading to a decrease in metabolism. A special reminder: avoid extremely low-calorie diets. The more drastically you cut calories, the more your BMR will drop, and the easier it will be to gain weight, worse than any tragic tale. I've noticed that many people in the comment section have experienced this. Your top priority now should be to restore your diet to around or slightly above the BMR level of someone with the same height and weight as you. Your BMR will gradually recover. Here are some myths about boosting metabolism. Drinking tea doesn't help, sauna sessions don't work, cold showers don't work, and eating spicy food doesn't work. How much cardio should you do to lose weight? Some people don't do any, while others do it every day. So, how effective is cardio for fat loss? Like and follow. Today's video will break it all down for you. First off, cardio has great benefits for both physical and mental health, such as improving stamina and combating depression. However, if your goal is to lose weight, cardio alone might not be the magic solution. Here's the deal: when you burn 300 calories through cardio, do you think that adds 300 calories to your total daily expenditure? According to a report published in 2016, our bodies have an energy compensation mechanism. When you burn a lot of calories through cardio, your body subconsciously conserves more energy to protect its reserves, reducing your daily activity level and increasing your appetite. So while you may burn 300 calories during your workout, studies show that due to this energy compensation, you actually only end up burning about 20% to 50% of the expected calories. Kind of like when the cafeteria lady gives you a smaller portion than you expected. But if you push yourself hard enough to burn 700 calories or more, which is equivalent to about an hour to an hour and a half of jogging, you can still achieve fat loss. This is where sheer willpower can help you break through. In terms of fat loss efficiency, pure cardio ranks at the bottom. However, the most effective methods are combinations of various approaches, so please stop talking about starving or exhausting yourself to the extreme in the comments section. Don't rely on cardio as your only fat loss strategy. Combine it with dietary control for better results. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body needs to burn something for energy. It can choose to burn muscle or fat. Strength training tells your body not to burn muscle, while cardio gives your body a reason to burn fat. Therefore, the fat loss trifecta is a combination of diet control, strength training, and cardio. So how much cardio should you do? I recommend starting with a baseline of 7,000 steps per day, combined with your diet and strength training. This level is enough to get you started on fat loss. When you want to speed up your fat loss, add some cardio. 2 to 3 sessions of 20 minutes of cardio per week is a good amount. You can cycle, walk uphill, or ride a bike, whatever you enjoy. Once your body adapts, you'll hit a plateau. If you don't want to reduce your food intake further, increasing your cardio is another option. Repeat this process until you reach your desired physique. Now you know how much cardio you do is entirely up to you and your individual needs. Don't blindly follow others. If someone is climbing 200 flights of stairs every day, that doesn't mean you should do the same. Do you think that would be good for you? Finally, once you've successfully lost fat, don't stop all exercise immediately. While you don't need to maintain the same level of activity as before, keeping up a certain amount of physical activity will help prevent weight regain.